Well, welcome everyone. I'm Paul Costello, the Director of the Vermont Council on Rural Development, but more to the point, I'm here as the governor's appointed leader of his local support and community action team. I see Paul Dragon is here from the team, and a number of folks engaged in this conversation from the Agency of Commerce are also connected to the call, and good to have Rob Fish with us too, an old friend. The governor's action team is designed to, when you think about the governor's plan for recovery, we all hoped it would be much faster and that we'd be over the hump of the challenge of COVID much sooner. But when he started the recovery effort back in the end of March, he saw it as having three major parts. The first was a group was organized to provide immediate financial counseling to large employers, small businesses, to help them capture as much resources they could from PPP and other resources to help their businesses transition and be successful through the toughest period. Another group was formed that was looking a little bit more long-term at the feathering of protocols for reopening businesses, for reopening downtowns, for the complex ways that we have had to shuffle to preserve public health and safety at the same time we've done all that we could for the economy. And then we formed the local support and action team to recognizing, I think, that not all the answers are going to come from Washington, D.C., not all the answers are going to come from Montpelier, that in fact, every community in Vermont, almost every neighborhood, people have stepped up to help their neighbors, to think forward, and everything from delivering food, helping people who are in quarantine, making face masks, really looking at the local systems and what they needed to do to support each other. And some of those are regional, countywide, and have grown to be pretty involved strategic plans for recovery. So the local action committee was really designed to help share those models between places, to help identify some of the most creative best practices for use elsewhere, to support the leavening progress of people working together as Vermonters for the full recovery. These calls are a part of that effort. This is, I think, the 10th county-wide call that we've managed. We've been hearing from people around fundamental challenges, opportunities, best practices, and we've been sharing as we go. So the purpose of these calls is not to try to second guess the leadership in the county or to impose some sort of statewide strategic plan at the county level, but instead to listen and learn. We've brought a visiting team of folks with us who are going to help layer in their technical expertise and even potentially resources. But the fundamental goal is to share some best practices from outside the county, to learn from people in the county about some of the good things going forward and some of the best practices that we could then take both to put online, also to share with other counties and potentially to share with the governor. We're looking for things that also rise up in these conversations that are inputs that we should be sharing with the governor as he looks at public policy and investment practices. And then finally, we're bringing the team of state, federal, nonprofit leaders, congressional staff to think, listen, and then reflect with you about what they're hearing and about potential ways that they could help you, local projects or regional projects as you work forward. I want to just introduce the recovery team that's with us today. Richard Amore from Housing and Community Development, Stephanie Bonin from the Brattleboro Downtown Alliance, Erica Campbell from Bernie Sanders' office, Paul Dragon from CVOEO, he's the new exec over there, Rob Fish from Department of Public Service, Jeremy Hansen from Central Vermont Fiber, Jacob Hemrick from Housing and Community Development, Fred Kenny, who most of you probably know as the Regional Development Corporation leader, Adam Luigi from Addison County Regional Planning Commission, Chris Saunders from Senator Leahy's office, Helena von Wurst from the United Way of Addison County, Kevin Weiberg from the Community Foundation, and Mike Winslow from Addison County Regional Planning Commission. Along with VCRD staff who you see listed below, we're honored to be here and part of the conversation with folks in Addison County tonight. I want to just turn to Fred Kenny for a second for Fred to share a word of greeting from the RDC, but also from the local steering committee in Addison County.
Thanks, Paul. On behalf of the Addison County Recovery Team, I want to welcome the Local Solutions and Community Action Team of the Governor's Economic Mitigation and Recovery Task Force to Addison County. I also want to thank the team from the Vermont Council on Rural Development for facilitating these recovery forums around the state. And also, of course, I want to welcome all the folks from Addison County who have joined us tonight to share and connect. The Addison County Recovery Team which is made up of leaders from regional organizations and municipalities, has been meeting since April to coordinate and collaborate on recovery issues. So if you serve on the Addison County Recovery Team, just give a quick wave so people know who you are. You won't be able to see everybody, but thank you. So thank you for thank you to everyone for being here tonight, and we look forward from hearing from everyone tonight. Thanks, Paul. I guess we're turning it over to Jenna, right?
Yep, go ahead, Jenna. Tell us what's happening tonight.
Yeah, so thanks everyone. Glad to be here with you in Addison County. Just going to quickly walk through the agenda for the evening, and then I'll give you a run through of how we're actually going to get to these breakout sessions. So the plan for tonight is to, in just a couple minutes, leave here and break into some separate conversations around topics that were chosen by that Addison County Recovery Team. Those topics will be business support and recovery, building community unity, telecommunications, and family and individual needs. And that includes a whole lot of things from housing to food, heat, healthcare, and childcare. So feel free to join any of those that you're most interested in. You'll have a facilitator in those forums. They'll walk you through a series of questions. First, we're going to hear from someone who can walk through, kind of help to frame the conversation, a keynote speaker to introduce the topic, either share what's going on in the region today or share strategies from another region or a statewide perspective. And then we'll walk through questions to talk about what's going on today, what are the current challenges, where are there still needs, what are the recovery strategies that are happening today, and then spend a bulk of the time talking about ideas for the future. And then we'll have a moment at the end for our visiting team members that Paul introduced to share some reflections on the conversation and hopefully share some potential resources or support that they or others could bring to the work going on in the county. And then at 8:10, your facilitator will give you instructions on how to get back to here, and we'll come back together to hear from the facilitators in each of the breakouts and for some closing words. So that's the plan for this evening. And on the next slide, we'll see some instructions on how to move from here to there. So the way that we've found this to work the most smoothly is actually to leave this meeting and head into a separate Zoom meeting in order to have our breakout conversations. It's pretty simple, but I'll just walk you through it so that everyone has a plan of how to get there. So essentially what you're going to do is first leave this meeting and then join the breakout topic. And you'll find the link for that Zoom call in a few different places. You can, Margaret has pasted them into the chat in this session. So go ahead and copy that link if that's where you want to pull it from. And then you can paste that into your browser after you leave this meeting. You can also find the link for those breakouts in your confirmation email that you would have received. That's probably where you got your link to join just now. So go back to that same place to find it, or on our website, vtrural.org/recovery/Addison. So you'll see each of the topics with the link. A few of you, if you're on the phone, you will need to hang up and then redial and use the meeting code that you would have received, the same place you found the meeting code for this meeting. So in your confirmation or on the website. So hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Margaret's going to be here. If you get lost in internet space out there, come back to this meeting and Margaret will help you get to where you need to go. So
can I ask a quick question?
Go ahead.
Are we having minutes, or will we be able to access any kind of recording or?
Yeah, all the breakouts, that's a great question. All the breakouts will be recorded and there'll be detailed minutes or notes taken in each of the sessions.
Okay,
So you won't miss anything. All right, so we'll see you in the breakouts.